Greetings, community. It's Kevin of NCBD Comics, and I'm here to bring you another edition of Kevin's most anticipated reads tomorrow for New Comic Book Day, 3/15/2023. Hey, if you're seeing this on New Comic Book Day, happy Wednesday, and appreciate you showing up. Everyone, it's not a heavy week. It's not a light week. It's somewhere in that happy medium place that I really appreciate. And doesn't break my bank. So I'm grateful for that. Without too much to do, I want to acknowledge the chat prior in which we get to the list. And Las Cruces and Christina, as always. Christina, spread the love. I appreciate you. And Cap, thank you very much. Appreciate everybody for being here. And how about we get into it? Starting with IDW. We're going to bring it out with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Last Ronin Lost Years, issue number 2. I'm digging this whole new Turtles thing, almost like a next gen. It's refreshing, and the fact that it seems there's being so much excitement on the Kevin Eastman side, it just fills my heart to know that he is excited about another new project, especially something as old as a Turtles project in the sense of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but new in the sense of a whole new generation. This to me is pretty cool. It isn't just another spin-off. It isn't just another like Saturday morning cartoon. This is a whole new, not even reboot, but next gen telling of a Teenage Mutant Ninja story. So if you're into TMNT type stuff, I'm telling you, the Lost Ronin and the Ronin Lost Years is definitely for you. Moving over from the whole IDW place, so we're going to cruise right over to Dynamite. Dynamite, luckily, is only hitting me with one title this time, and that is Draculina Blood Single issue number 2. Draculina is definitely one of my favorite titles coming out from Dynamite. It's a unique story of a Vampirilla style, but totally all its own. And being that it's in and out of all these multiverses and dimensions, and it's a real wild ride to try to hold on and figure out what's going on. But by the time you reach issue number 6 of the first volume and then start on this new volume, you're definitely not only well aboard, but you're appreciating the ride. So that's why, again, Draculina, issue number 2 of the Blood. I'm not even going to try that one. But Draculina issue number 2. It comes out tomorrow. That's 3/15/2023. Moving over for the Dynamite, we're going to cruise over to Dark Horse. Dark Horse has given us... Now, Nguyen, don't take this wrong, everybody. Nguyen has given us a story called White Savior that is not what you think. What it is it is a satirical story of a white person that is thrown back in time to go ahead and save a traditional feudal Japan town from being taken over. And this guy's an idiot. So that's why it is hilarious fun, and it's a great journey to take on. And I'm just glad that Nguyen finally got this book picked up, and especially by Dark Horse. This is a story I read about 2.5 years ago that was given to me on an email. So the fact that it hit Dark Horse, and now that I actually get to see it tangible and smell the pages, I dig. And that's why, yes, White Savior, issue number 3 of 4, is pretty high on my most anticipated reads for tomorrow. But moving out from Dark Horse, we're going to cruise over to Image. Image is going to give us Little Monsters, issue number 11. Now, I have to admit, as far as the vampire stories go, sorry, Philadelphia, you're going to have to kind of move over. And the reason why is Little Monsters is that really good. What I mean by that is, yeah, there's a whole world that's all in the Philadelphia, and it ties into history and all that, and I enjoy that thoroughly. That's not what I'm stating. The fact that I'm so captivated by these kids in these near immortal bodies and just tortured by the idea that they have no idea how to live other than the way that they were told. So they're kind of trapped in this confinement of rules that they have no idea why they're following. And now that they've been breaking them, they're starting to understand the wisdom behind what they've been living, even though they were ignorantly doing so. It's the beauty behind the story. really is great. That's why, again, Little Monsters, issue number 11, is pretty high in my most anticipated reads. Still sticking with Image, but cruising over to another title, Noctera. I'm telling you, Noctera is one of those titles that I look forward to every month. Why? It's not a stereotypical story in the sense of I've heard something similar, told something similar in the way of something similar, but none of this really ties in the way it does in this story. I mean, we even have to wait almost bi-monthly to get a title. At the same point, I'm not worried. The story is so well told that you pretty much know where you're at every time you pick up the next issue, regardless of how long you've been away. And that's why Noctera, issue number 12, is really high on my list. But moving out from Image, we're going to cruise over to Marvel, and Marvel's going to give us 4 titles, starting off with Gold Goblin, issue number 5. Gold Goblin, issue number 5. I think we're going to get really towards a Green Goblin coming out. I mean, that's really where the story is going to. And the fact that it's telling it the way it does ties in the stories that were not really that well told, in my opinion, by other writers of old Spider-Man stories. So really what this does, again, in my opinion, is it actually irons out some of the stories of old, ties that into stories of new, and actually makes them validated in the way they were kind of told. I mean, they could have been told a little bit more action-packed, and it could have been more exciting at the same point. There was value in that story now. So it's cool to know that stories I read 2, 3, 4 years ago actually tie into the storyline that made it worth reading, not only this storyline, but the storyline of past. And that's why Gold Goblin issue number 5 is pretty high on my list, because it gets some validation. It's a lot of that Spider-Man stuff I read in the past. But moving out from the Gold Goblin, we're going to cruise over to Red Goblin, and damn, Normie, here you go, boy. I'm talking issue number 2 coming out from Red Goblin. And yeah, Alex Packnell is doing a great job on this. And I really have been enjoying a lot of the stories that he's been telling of late. It's difficult for me to pass up on any Alex story that's been out there. So Red Goblin is just awesome. Why? Well, as you well know, I'm a symbiote slut. Can't get enough and just want it all. So knowing that we're getting this hardcore Red Goblin and we're Goblin King and all this stuff that's tied in old stuff and new stuff, and it's cool. It's cool. So Red Goblin issue number 2 comes out tomorrow, 3/15/2023. Still staying on the Marvel for 2 more. We're going to talk about Hulk issue number 13. Now, initially it started off at a real rough for some, and then it basically thinned out certain herds. But if you're digging it, you're digging it. And what I'm getting at is Hulk is ramping up to be pretty awesome. They had the whole game, they play the ball, and few people got jacked up. But moreover, what we end up seeing is Hulk's losing it, and he's trying to hold it together. More importantly, really, Banner's losing it. He's losing control of Hulk. And we're not seeing Hulk out like this other than when Titan came out. What does that mean? I think Titan's coming out. So I'm looking forward to that. I want to see more Titan. I want to see him get all huffy and puffy and thrashy. And I just got a feeling he's going to thrash this world. I'm just saying. It's going to be sad, but it's going to be awesome. So moving out from Hulk 13 that comes out tomorrow, we're going to talk about Miles Morales issue number 4. Miles Morales coming from Marvel is probably one of the most consistently written stories of a Spider-Man story in general. I mean, other than you could say certain stories that have been written bad on a consistent level, which I'm not here to do that. I would say Miles Morales overall, and especially issue number 4 coming out, is just an enjoyable read. It's consistent. And you never know what really you're going to get. So it's really cool knowing that the Spider-Man story is nice and fresh. So that's why issue number 4 is pretty high on my anticipated reads for tomorrow. But that all being stated, you know and I know why everyone's here. And that's right. It's the Blue Light Special. So we're going to cruise out from Marvel. We're going to cruise it over to Boom. And why? Because Boom Studios is going to give us Berserker. Keanu Reeves is, in my opinion, along with Matt Hint, has been killing it with this story. It's been rather consistent. I mean, in the 12 months, it took, 15 months to come out. I'm not sniveling. I get it. Things come up. This story has been, in my opinion, fun and awesome. It's been rather different. It's enjoyable. There's actually aspects, if you really want to go there, that are somewhat philosophical. And I know some of the Zen things that were tied into there. I was able to pick out certain things going, I know where he got that from, and I know where he got that from, which was really cool for me. Because if you really want to go there, the tale kind of gets a little introspective. And for me, I like that when I can really kind of look deep and go, wow, that kind of speaks to me. That's why Berserker is my blue light special. There's been parts of the story and stories within the story that have been able to speak to me. And I don't know if it's because he's writing it along with Matt in a kind of a Eastern touch, but it resonates and I get it. So that's why, again, from Boom Studios, Berserker issue number 12 of 12, coming out 3/15/2023, is my blue light special. And that's it for me. Entropy. Everyone, take care.